Welcome to the kidsministry.blog podcast. Every episode, we share ideas, tips, and resources to help your children's ministry thrive.
Have you ever noticed how some people in a volunteer role just, shine? They don't just show up. They somehow make everything better while others kind of just exist. We've certainly seen it, and it makes you wonder what the secret sauce is there. So this deep dive is all about trying to uncover what makes those incredible individuals tick. Today, we're looking at a really insightful article from kidsministry.blog called 7 Essential Qualities of a Great Volunteer. Our goal here is to pull out the key ideas, figure out the patterns that make the difference between a truly great volunteer, like this Sarah in the article, and someone who's just filling a spot like Tom. All right, so let's unpack this a bit. What is it exactly that makes Sarah so amazing and Tom, well, not so much? The article kicks off with something that feels, foundational, showing up consistently. Well, that sounds super obvious, right? But the article really points out Sarah's incredible reliability. She almost never misses, and this is key, she always communicates way ahead as she has to. Huge difference from Tom, who apparently misses once a month, sometimes just texts last minute or not at all. What's the real impact of that beyond just someone being there or not?
Well, what's really fascinating is how that consistency, it builds trust, but it goes way beyond just the kids. Think about the cognitive load on the supervisors, on the other volunteers. When someone's reliable, you don't have that constant background worry, that scramble to cover. It frees people up.
Right. Frees up mental space.
Exactly. And for the kids, like the article says, they absolutely notice. They form these really strong attachments to the people who are always there. It creates, a sense of security.
Okay, so consistency is the base. Building on that, how do these great volunteers deepen the connection? The article brings up a second quality, remembering names and stories. Sarah's apparently brilliant at this. She remembers Emma's cat. She asks Tommy about a soccer game, knows the shy kids. Tom, on the other hand, he barely remembers first names. This isn't just about being polite, is it?
Not at all. It's much deeper. It's actively creating psychological safety, a feeling of belonging. The article kind of hints that this is like a first step in building a kid's self-esteem in that setting. When you remember their story, you're not just recalling a fact. You're saying, I see you, that you matter as an individual. It really taps into that basic human need for recognition.
That makes sense. That recognition then probably paves the way for the next quality the article mentions, genuine kindness. And they stress genuine not just being nice on the surface, but actually truly caring. Sarah notices when a kid's down, sits with them, listens, helps other volunteers without being asked. Tom, he's not mean apparently, but he just kind of exists, doesn't really go out of his way. How do kids pick up on this?
Kids, and the article really emphasizes this, they have this almost uncanny radar for authenticity. They see right through fake nice.
Yeah.
They sense when the care is real versus someone just, going through the motions. This genuine kindness, it's like applied emotional intelligence, right? Mm-hmm. It makes a volunteer approachable, trustworthy, especially when things get tricky.
And things do get tricky, don't they? Which leads right into another quality, handling problems calmly. The article has this vivid example. Sarah apparently cleaned up vomit during snack time, totally calm, comforted the kid, got everyone else settled, no drama. You can imagine someone like Tom maybe panicking a bit more.
Right.
Why is that calm reaction so important for the kids?
Because kids feel safe around adults who don't lose it when things go a little sideways. That ability to stay composed under pressure, it signals stability. It signals competence. It tells the kids, hey, even if something messy happens, the adults have got this. This place is secure. It builds that psychological safety again.
Okay, so you need the kindness and the calm. Without those, I guess initiative could seem a bit cold. But when you have them, this next quality really makes a difference, taking initiative. Sarah arrives early, helps set up, stays to clean, plans things for downtime, always thinking ahead. Tom does exactly what's asked, then waits for the next instruction. Big contrast.
Yeah, a huge contrast.
What does that proactivity signal?
It signals, I think, a deep sense of ownership. It's not just about doing more work. It shows they're really engaged, invested, willing to contribute beyond just the bare minimum requirement.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of initiative, it's not just helpful, it can actually be kind of infectious. It can inspire others and subtly lift the standard for the whole team.
And that links perfectly to the sixth quality, always learning. Sarah actively asks for feedback, wants to know how to improve, reads up on child development, tries new things. Tom just does the same routine every week, never asks how he could do better.
Right, the status quo volunteer.
What's the wider impact of that learning mindset?
Well, connecting it to the bigger picture, a volunteer who's growing doesn't just get better themselves. They help elevate the whole program, the whole experience for the kids. Stagnant volunteers, like the article implies, they just kind of fill space.
Mm-hmm.
But someone who's learning, who's improving, they contribute to this dynamic culture of excellence. It benefits everyone.
Okay, and finally, the article lands on what might be the most fundamental thing, sort of the heart of it all. They actually like kids. Sarah lights up around them, genuinely enjoys being there, laughs at their jokes. Tom tolerates them. He does his duty, but you get the sense he'd maybe rather be somewhere else.
Yeah.
Why is this one so absolutely crucial?
Because that intrinsic motivation, that's the real engine. Kids know. They absolutely know when an adult genuinely enjoys being around them, and they respond totally differently.
Mm-hmm.
It's the difference between just, competence and a real authentic connection, and creates an atmosphere where the kids feel truly valued, not just managed or supervised.
So when you pull all these 7 qualities together, wow. The article makes it clear that great volunteers, they don't just make a supervisor's life easier. They lift up other volunteers. Kids are drawn to them. Parents notice and appreciate it. It's a huge ripple effect.
Absolutely. And it's not just a one-way street. While they're giving their time and energy, these volunteers are getting so much backing, relationships, purpose, feeling valued. It really shows that you get out what you put in, often in ways you don't expect. And the article offers some really solid advice too. Be picky up front. Better to have 3 amazing volunteers like Sarah than 10 mediocre ones like Tom. Quality really trumps quantity here, always.
Yeah, that's a powerful point. So it's clear, great volunteers, they aren't perfect. They probably have bad days, make mistakes, but they care, they try consistently, and they keep showing up and working on getting better.
Which I think raises a really interesting question for everyone listening, beyond just volunteering. What core qualities do you think are essential for anyone trying to make a genuinely positive, lasting impact? Whether that's with kids, in a community group, or even just within any team you're part of.
Definitely something to think about as you go through your day.
Thanks for listening. To find more ideas, tips, and resources, go to kidsministry.blog. We'll see you next time.